Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Let's run it back as promised. We are back as promised. As promised. Tonight to talk more boxing. Here we go. We're here to talk more of the fights, upcoming fights, past fights. Who do you want to see? What did you think of some of the fights? You know, some of your opinions. Some controversial call decisions. Thought these were going.
You on live?
Yeah.
Are you going
I am 20 seconds in. Or
there?
what's up?
Your neighbor, the one next to where Ron. What's his name?
Malcolm.
I don't know. The guy you were just outside talking to. Hi, Leah.
I don't know who you're outside talking to.
No, the guy like that you're always close with.
Bill?
Bill, yeah, his garage is open. I don't know if he knows because everything's dark. But his one garage is open.
Alright, I'll text him.
I'm gonna text him.
I'll text him. Alright, take him and go upstairs.
Hi, Leah. Hi, Leah.
I'm not.
Come on.
Just call him. Alright, let's see what we got. Fucking animals. Bruh, alright, let's hear some opinions. Let's see what we got going on. We're gonna start talking some boxing. Some boxing, some fights, some matches, some key matchups, some matchups you wish would happen. We're back. Let's go. Let's start getting this chat rolling. Give me 1 second. See if I can shoot this off. There we go. I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, guys, we here. You see the background. We're here to talk about past fights, upcoming fights, calls, the decisions, what you guys think of them. How did you guys feel? Did you agree with some of the decisions? You know, what were some of your opinions on some of the fights that happened? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we got. What do you guys think? How do you feel about Pacquiao Barrios? Do you feel like he really got robbed? Do you feel like he really got robbed? You know, what was your thoughts on the rematch from Doran to Zoo? You know, let's get it rolling. We were live earlier. We talked heavy boxing. We talked a lot of Alexander Usyk, the win that he had, who he should fight next, if there is a fight next, how he should retire, how he should probably go out of the sport. Not saying he's done. I'm not saying he's done, but it's kind of like what else is there for Usyk to do? You know what I mean? Like, who else is there in the heavyweight division for Usyk? You know, we were talking about that earlier. You guys have opinions on the you guys have opinions on Pacquiao Barrios, the decision there? Do you guys have opinions there? Do you still want to see Pitbull versus Fierro? He didn't get to fight him because of the weight difference. You know, we have Canelo, Crawford coming up next. Who do you guys want to see in that fight? Who do you want to win? Are you Team Crawford? You Team Canelo? Let's get the chat going. Let's get some comments. Let's get some opinions, topics. You know, I'm free to talk all boxing. We were live earlier. Like I said, talked a lot of Alexander Usyk. Talk a decent amount about Pacquiao. Is he back? Is Manny Pacquiao back? I already have my opinions on that, but see what y'all say, what y'all think. Let's get it going. Let's get it stirred up. What are y'all looking forward to? I'm going to leave it there. What are y'all looking forward to? Boxing-wise, matchups. Boots moving up to 154. You know, he vacated his WBA, IBF belt, moving up to 154. What do y'all think there? Potential matchup of Virgil Ortiz. Could have had one with Devin Haney. It's split, went over to Brian Norman. who should have fought Boots. Barrios should have fought Boots. I'll forever say it. They did it. It is what it is. It is what it is. You can't go back on it. So, you know, let's see what we all think. Trying to think if any other matchups that happened. Bam Bam Rodriguez. Well, I call him Bam Bam. You know, Bam. But good win. Incredible stoppage. He's on a path to face Inoue soon. I would say within 2026. You see Jesse Rodriguez versus Inoue. What do y'all think about that? I know he has a fight loading in November. He has a fight loading in November, which will I forget who he's versing because he just unified. He unified the WBO and WBC with the ring. So I forget who he's versing in November, who's scheduled for that fight, but he fights in November. I think in 2026 you can see Bam versus Nao Inoue. If not, Juntel, Nakatani. You know, that flyweight division is going to start going crazy soon. He's really flooring it. Because at first, you know, boxing was getting trending off those lighter divisions. The lightweights, you know, Shakur Tank, you know, Evan Haney when he was there, Ryan Garcia. You know, they were really flooring it off them. Now you're seeing the heavier divisions move. Heavyweight division getting active. Welterweight got active. Super middleweights getting active. You know, Edgar Berlanga, Shiraz on his way to fight Canelo. I think Caleb Plant and Edgar Berlanga. Now's the time. Berlanga and Plant, they gotta go for it. They gotta go. What do y'all think? You guys boxing fans? If you're watching, are you boxing fans? What y'all think of the fights? Let me know. You know, we got some people in here. How's the night going? Where's some matchups y'all want to see? Let's get this chat sparked. Let's get it going. Let's see what we can do. We talked a lot earlier on Usyk and Pacquiao and the upcoming Crawford Canelo. But what y'all think? Let's get it going. Whoa, what's this? What did I just do? There's something on my screen. I hit something. I'm going to say it, though. I'm going to say it if no one else wants to say it. Pacquiao got robbed for sure. 100%. We know that for a fact. If you don't think he got robbed, then I don't know what to tell you. He got robbed. Barrios, vacate the belt, strap it, hang it up. You got to move on now at this point. Somebody else. Yeah, it didn't sound too good, cuz. That did not sound too good. Whoa. But yeah, what's your opinions? Drop something in the chat. Let's get it going. Let's get some good boxing talk going. We got some people up in here. Let's get some good boxing talk going. Did you watch any of the fights? Did you watch the Texas fights, the Vegas, the London fights? You know, you watch some club shows. Look at some up-and-comers coming up. Let's hear some opinions. Let me see. What's up, Noel? What's up? BS fight. There we go. We're going to get started now. Now we're going to get rocking. See, now we about to get rocking. See, it was cool to see Pac-Man fight again. All that, it was cool. The decision was BS. 100%. Pac won. The politics behind it, in my opinion, you're not going to let Pacquiao win, knowing he's not going to defend the belt. Knowing he won't defend against a young, hungry, world-ranked contender, stuff like that, you know? So if this guy loses the strap to him, who's probably just going to vacate after he wins, takes his 5 more records that he just won, and vacates the belt, now WBC is going to be missing out. You know what I'm saying? They got no one there to fight. It's vacant. And they have no popular matchup to say X and X is versing for the WBC welterweight championship. There's no one lined up for that. You know what I mean? Like, you lose a lot of that. But again, it's politics. So this fight builds Barrios. If you ask me, Noel, if you're still watching, if you ask me, Barrios should have tried to unify him for boots. He should have tried. He should have been trying to fight boots. Turn them offers down for what? To have back-to-back draws in a world title fight? Back-to-back? Pacquiao did win. Pacquiao won. He got robbed. Pacquiao won the fight. 100%. Here's the thing. If he won and they gave him the belt, I don't think he keeps it. I think he vacates. He's not going to fight Janibek for unification. He's not. A good fight. No, Janibek's middleweight. We're a welterweight. Oh, whoa, I was way off. Janibek's middleweight. Welterweight, WBA, IBF is vacant because Boots moved up. And Brian Norman's already fighting Devin Haney, which is like another wash fight. Because why didn't Barrios, why didn't Norman, why didn't any of these guys step up the Boots when it was their time? You know how fire the welterweight division could have been? Boots putting that division back on the map. Instead, everyone stalls him out, so now he has to vacate. Imagine robbing a true undefeated masterclass fighter of an undisputed weight class because they ducked him. Think about that. Now Boots is at 154, and he may never undispute 147. Him undisputed 147 would change his career crazy from currently where it's at. Was Barrio holding back, or his fights he just fights like that? Listen, man, a part of me felt like he actually held back a little bit. I'll be honest. But he does, hear me out. Look at the fight against Ramos. He didn't turn up either. That's how you had to draw. He didn't turn up when he needed to. In the third round, Barrios looked like he was ready to start to clip Manny. He looked like he started to have him under control. Manny reaching with the jab, overextending, dropping his backhand. He's staying open. He's bouncing. He reaching, and Barrios is landing clean shots. Because that was Barrios' best round. Manny won the first two, in my opinion. Then Barrios came in on the third round and really started getting him. Really started knocking him. Here's my problem with it. You not stepping up. You hear Bob Santos in the fight. Don't show him no fucking respect. Don't show him no fucking respect. Don't show him no fucking respect. But he sits here like this. You know, he's not active enough. He's not active enough. And Manny Pacquiao, for his age and 10 year away from the layoff, crazy active. You know, Manny is hard to fight. Manny, bro, and for his age and the layoff to keep moving that way, crazy. In the second round, hear me out. After the second round, you see Manny. I thought he was beat. I thought he was starting to get gassed. Like, oh, you know, he's bouncy. He's bouncy. That takes a lot of energy. The bouncing, the shooting, the jabbing stuff. I thought he was starting to get gassed, and he wasn't. I started to question it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Turk. What do I think? Jenny, what's up? Welcome back, Jenny. Jenny, welcome back. Jenny, what's up? Manny won 6, Barrio won 4 rounds. Manny won the fight, Monk. Manny won the fight. What do I think about Turkey? I think Turkey's doing good for boxing. I think he got stupid money, so he's just throwing it. I think he's just throwing money, but it's good for the sport. You got to think this is good for the sport because now you're starting to see fights be made because fighters are going to start getting paid what they want, and rightfully so. These guys, you know, they put their life on the line and stuff. I think Turkey Al-Sheik's really going to start making fights. You know, not everybody is perfect. Not every business venture they do is right. All that stuff. I think he's in the right motions. You know what I mean? Like, I think without Turk, you don't get Terrence Crawford, Canelo as fast as we're getting it, or if not at all. Think about how long it took to get Mayweather Pacquiao to fight. And people argue to this day it was 5 years too late, especially for Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Think about how long it took some of these fights to make. You know, they shut down New York. Look at the people they put on the cards. I think, you know, he's doing good for the sport of boxing for sure. He bounces all day long. You right, did take the foot off the pedal. He did. I'm telling you, man. I thought he was tired, but his experience, yes, he was composed. It's that experience at that level. I think it really started to kick back in for Manny. And he really also was able to understand Barrios, catch him through the guard, caught him a lot, and then you can understand how to counter him back. Um, yeah, Barrios, man, he wasn't really active. Barrios really was not active at all. There was times where I know Barrios could. Um, there was times where Barrios really could have turned it up for sure, 100%. But there was times he really could have turned it up, but it just seemed like he was like, I don't know. I don't know if he was, practically struck a little bit that he's still fighting Pacquiao. But I gotta blow my nose. My allergies are acting up a little bit. I'm sorry. But Barrios looked fresh. Yes, I already read it. On Saturday night, during the breathless moments of U6 dramatic dismantle in Dubai, the Saudi minister she posted. Yeah, I think it's a good fight. Moses going up and stuff. I don't think no one beats Usyk in the heavyweight division. That fight's a payday for the young kid. He can get the experience of going against one of the best heavyweights of all time, right? He'll get like that experience at that level, which he won't get the win in my opinion, but almost like Canelo against Floyd, you didn't get the win, but it set your career on a trajectory. Do I fight? Did I box, or am I just a fan? I'm a media personality and a promoter. I've only sparred a few times. I've never fought amateurly or never fought in the ring. Um, what you guys are watching right now is my thing. I kind of just do boxing media. I do like media assignments where I go interview the athletes, the fighters as much as I can. I do it on my own dime. So you're following my media journey. I'm also a boxing promoter. We promote mainly on the East Coast. A lot of club shows. So we're trying to help build young fighters' careers and bring them up. So I don't. Will I fight in the ring? It's to be determined. I've sparred a few times, sure. Only twice. When I say a few, I'm not gonna act like I've done it crazy. Who you think next for Conor Ben? Conor Ben's a dog. A dog. I think Eubank rematch is next. I think God is great all the time, baby. Barrios was blown away by the moment a bit. Round 3 or 4 should be gone. That should be. Yeah, man. I don't know, bro. It was just a payday. I think it helped elevate Barrios' name to a whole other degree, right? I think this helped magnify Barrios' win. He fought a legend. He fought a Hall of Famer. He fought one of the biggest names the sport has to offer, and he kept the strap. It's a draw. He keeps the title. His name, that next promotion, the next fight they do, you have Manny Pacquiao tied to that automatically. You're keeping it, which is a selling factor still. You get what I'm saying? Because he just fought Manny. So like anything else is like, anything else is what was I gonna say? It's just like automatic. Like no matter who he fights, you're coming off this Manny Pacquiao fight. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the narrative it's gonna be. Mung, what weight do you fight at? You're training to fight at the moment? Are you amateur or pro? Amateur or pro? Yeah, I don't speculate on, the cheating aspect or what the fighters take. Um, that's a tricky subject to dance around. Even with the Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney thing, man. They say those drug tests came back, the piss test came back really quick. From my experience with promoting shows, when they do the P test the day of, it don't come back that quick. You fight that night, they get sent to a lab, and you find out sometime later, for sure. But I feel like it came back a little too quick. It's hard to speculate on those things, man. It really is, Yeah, those topics are tricky. But Mom, what weight class are you fighting in? Is it amateur? Or are you making a pro debut? Are you making a pro debut at all? Or is that your dream to make a pro debut, maybe? Go pro, bro. Going pro in the sport of boxing, because that's what's up. That takes a lot. That's a lot of respect right there. Amateur MMA. Oh, MMA guy in the crowd. What you think of Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway? What do you think about that? Oh, you're in the UK. Jenny, thank you for joining. Jenny, thank you. Shout out to you for coming back again in the live. Boxer 3 years, amateur. That's what's up, champ. That's what's up. It looks like you crossed over. You doing the opposite of what McGregor did. What do you guys think of some of these upcoming fights? What do you guys think of some? What fights are you guys looking forward to? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fights that boxing can bring. Canelo Alvarez, Crawford on the, coming up. Clarissa Shields fighting soon. Who else? Who else fighting soon? That's women's boxing, obviously. That's women's boxing. Trying to think of future fights. Xander Zayas. You know, they reported they're trying to talk about Tank and Roach too, but that that fight is kind of washed. You know, going for what happened. That fucked up a bag for sure, because that was going in a direction. You get what I'm saying? And I think Tank could have won that fight. I don't think Tank took that fight seriously at all. I think he was clowning around a little bit too much in that first meeting, and now, you know, getting the trouble he got into, it derailed the second fight. I did kickboxing from 8 years old. With the boxing together, it makes a much better fighter most of the time. Yeah, man, the more you have in that tool belt, the better your arsenal is, for sure. For sure, the better your arsenal is. It's almost like a boxer, man. You can fight versatile southpaw. You can move around. You can really trick some people up. Terrence Crawford did it well against Errol Spence, and he's going to do it well against Canelo. That's my bold prediction. You heard it here. Terrence Crawford, I think, will outbox Canelo. That's my prediction, man. I'm rocking with Crawford. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Do not know how you guys feel about it, but let me know in the comments. If you're watching right now, you think, man, he's saying some bullshit. Put it in the comments. Alex Secchia sounds off right now. Right now. Crawford outboxes Canelo. I think it goes the distance. I think he touches the body a little bit too much. I think he's going to be a little too elusive for Canelo. I think he's going to be too elusive. I think the versatility in Crawford, going orthodox southpaw in the same fight, I think it's going to be trouble for Canelo. Canelo likes to walk up to you, man. He likes to walk up to you. And Crawford could in and out like a bank robbery. In and out like a bank robbery. See ya. Bye, stupid. I think it'd be something crazy. But, again, that's my opinion. Y'all are free. Let's make it spicy. Let's make it interesting. Drop a hot take. I want to see that fight. Jake Paul getting knocked out. Jake Paul versus who, though? Jake Paul versus who? Canelo? You're talking about Jake Paul versus Canelo? Footwork is the key to fighting. Fast feet. Look at Pacquiao, man. You got to be able to quick. You got to stay able to move. You got to keep being able to move. Get you off the ropes, out the corner, step and pivot. You got to roll. Whoop, whoop, bop, bop, bop. You know, touching that body, too. Touching the body is crazy work. It's definitely, you got a lot of boxers, headhunters now. Headhunters, but they forget there's a whole body there. You touch that, and next thing you know, you start touching that body, and it's a whole different ballgame. Now, I'm not saying Crawford's going to knock Canelo out. Hell no. I'm not saying he knocks Canelo out. I'm not saying none of that. But I think he outboxes him. I think he gets a win. And I think if Crawford beats Canelo, I think he might call it a career too. I think at that point, there's nobody else. I think get put out of, yeah. I think Canelo. I think if Canelo loses to Crawford, if Crawford wins, Crawford retires. I think Usyk will give it one more go with Tyson. One last go with Tyson and call it a career. You know, you could say Joseph Parker. I think we said that earlier in the live stream. You could say I can't say his last name. You could say some other guys. I don't think they would also bring. Why did you block me? Whoa. All right. See, I don't know what we talking about now. All right, bro. Is Jake fighting AJ? Is that confirmed? Is that really confirmed? Type it in real quick. Look that up. Is Jake Paul really fighting AJ Joshua? Anthony Joshua? That's confirmed? For real? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Anthony Joshua? Listen. Jake's doing really good for women's boxing. Let's keep it a being there. He is doing very good for women's boxing. But Anthony Joshua? That's a different beast. That's a different weight class. Y'all understand that, right? He's going up technically now 2 weight classes. you know, it's all about the money for sure. It's definitely all about the money. I feel like money's ruining all sports, though. I think, you know, the more people are paying, the worse it's going to get. You know what I'm saying? I think all sports are getting that way. These max contracts, these huge franchise tags, the shit like that, I think it's really ruining the sports in general because now they care more about the money than winning. You know, 20 years ago and stuff like that, they cared about winning. They really wanted to win. Some of these guys don't really want to win. They like the idea of winning. My bad. Apologies. I do have to blow my nose. These allergies are killing me. Killing me. Paul is facing in November. Damn. Damn. Man, he's robbed again and ain't very disappointed. Respect to the GOAT. Yeah, man, he got robbed. 100%. He got robbed. He got robbed. I don't think Floyd ever comes back. I know they tried bringing it up in a press conference to try and spark that. Floyd coming, fighting Manny Pacquiao again. Hell no. Let's be honest. That's not happening. But Joshua fighting Jake Paul. Yeah, man. Fighting Jake Paul. Yeah, that's not a good look for Jake, dog. I'm sorry. I think if he starts fighting, if you're asking who won the Barrios Pacquiao fight, it was a draw. But Pacquiao won. Pacquiao got robbed. I think they robbed Pacquiao for sure. They robbed Pacquiao for sure. What were we talking about? What was I just going to say? Yeah, man, I think if Jake Paul starts fighting more of these fighters like that, these names, and starts losing, and he doesn't fight the right names, like Anthony Joshua isn't the right name to fight. He's a big name, yes, he's a big name and can pull money, but like if Paul somehow landed his fight with Canelo, like that's the right name. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the right name to go out against if you lose. But if you lose to a guy like AJ, it's like... You see it coming. People start going back on that the talk of like you not being a boxer. You seen Conor McGregor crooked. You think it's veiny. I mean, it's gotta be veiny, right? He works out for it. Crooked. You seen Conor McGregor crooked. What does that mean? Like you think? Like are you saying he's on? Are you saying that Conor's on juice? Usyk will fight him too. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta go blow my nose. Give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right. 2 seconds. Not even. Damn, man. These houses are kicking my ass. This joint's crazy. Alright, we back. We back. Allergies are crazy. So what was the question again? Usyk will fight him too. Usyk will fight who? Who's Usyk gonna fight? Ain't nobody else for him to fight. I feel bad for the guy. There's no one else for him to fight. Manny Pacquiao did win. That's a fact. Manny Pacquiao won. Barrios should retire. Usyk fight Jake? Stop. No. No shot. I don't think Usyk even fights that fight. I don't think Usyk takes that fight. Not because he would lose or anything. It's just not because yeah, I just don't think he'll take Jake. Nah. It's stupid. It's pointless. Jason moved up to heavyweight to fight the best heavyweight in the world for what? So he can lose and everyone says, I told you so? It's almost like Jake Paul fight Mike Tyson. Everyone thought Mike Tyson had a chance in hell. Like, let's be honest. 60-something years old, you think he's going to move like prime Mike Tyson? And everyone goes, oh, those edits. But look at the edits. Look at his Instagram. Look at his training. Y'all know those are like 10 seconds, 15 seconds of Mike Tyson looking the absolute best. All just cut, edited, and montage together. Like, come on. Jake Paul was in UK. Here's my thing. Once the fight ended, I probably 3 minutes later started tuning into the PBC cards, the prelims, and the DAZN card because Jesse Rodriguez fought in Texas. So we had a lot of good cards, you know, from Matchroom, Eddie Hearn promoting, PBC with TGB and them, and then, you know, Queensberry in London. So there was a lot of fights. And once the Usyk fight was over, I didn't give it like a lot of time before I kind of started logging into the other streams and the prelim fights and stuff. So Paul faced, but I watched the interview, and Tyson goes like Fury to the crowd, and like the crowd went like electric, like they wanted to watch. They wanted Fury again. They did face off. Politics, man, promotion, marketing, all that. Smart by Jake Paul. If they did get a face off, and that's tough. I didn't see it circulate on like social media then as much as I would think it would for that type of face off. I don't think Usyk would take a fight like that. It would be easy work. It'd be easy work. It would be easy work. And I don't think Fury took that first fight with Usyk serious either. I don't. I think, if you watch KD Taylor 3, Taylor Serrano 3, people, I saw a comment saying, Serrano was more worried about the antics and her walkout and the hype, all that. I think that was Tyson with the first Usyk fight. I think Tyson did, could have utilized his jab a lot more and try and really do something there to like really win. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't know. Yo, that's a fact, bro. They love you when you're winning. They love you when you're winning. But they hate, it's a cold flip, man. I seen it with my boy firsthand. He fights, he wins, and then he goes and faces Jamal Charlo. And people are quick to talk mess. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's a fickle world. The fight game is a fickle world, man. It's rough. I'll tell you from like firsthand experience. Yeah, it's rough, man. You'll see people talk behind your back quick. And you want to know why? A lot of times they can get something from you. They can get something from you by liking you on your come up or while you're doing this at the third, because then you start putting them in room with people. You get what I'm saying? Because they attach to you, they're in a room with people that they won't get access to on their own, and then they can use it for their own benefit. And once you use it for your own benefit, you feel like you got what you need, and now you switch up. You don't care if the other person loses. You weren't there for them. You were there to somehow benefit you. But sometimes, and a lot of times it don't work out like that, because you got to realize, never mind, I ain't going to talk too much on that. Unless y'all ask. It's too much. Hit the like. Yo, Monk, I appreciate that, man. Much love. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Barrios impressed. Did he? He impressed you? I'm not trying to come at you or anything like that, but I don't know. I didn't really see nothing too impressive with Barrios' fight, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I didn't find Barrios, doing anything crazy, anything impressive, nothing like that. You'll never find a hater doing better. No, that's facts, man. That's facts. I have DMs to prove it. I've seen people, I could call it out. Like I told you guys, I'm a promoter and stuff. I work with fighters. One of the people, were taking pictures with my fighter, and they still have them on their Instagram to this day. Taking a picture, look at me with the champ. And then we're going to, fight Jamal Charlo, and I'm getting my DMs blown up saying, yo, he's going to lose. I'm like, hey, man, that's your opinion, cool, but, keep down your side. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take pictures with him, and you have him on your page, and you're trying to hit me up saying he's going to lose. Like, cool, that's cool, but don't come over here and try and come at me, man. Like, we don't do that. It's not right. You know what I'm saying? Isaac Cruz is a dog. I feel bad for Salido. I don't feel, two things. One, massive props to him. Because he stepped up and took a fight on last minute notice, and it was a world title fight, and he went, it was for the interim belt, and he's going more rounds than he was training for against a behemoth of an opponent. So, but I think, I feel bad because I feel like he started catching a lot of the anger Cruz has because Fierro didn't make the weight, if you ask me. What's up, Victor? How are you, champ? What you think about the fights this past weekend? Let's talk about it. We actually interviewed Pitbull Cruz. We did one interview with him. It was actually right here in the studio, virtual. It was virtual. I sat here on my screens. You can go back and look at our page. We did fight Isaac Cruz. You know, we did fight Cruz. Or, fuck. I said we fought. Wow. I wouldn't be here if I fought Cruz. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? We interviewed him right here, virtual. Go back and definitely check that out for sure. You can show some love there. Who do I support? Who do I support more? Where? Ver, Vidre. I was gonna say Verde, but the R and D are switched. Cruz is for sure Warrior, for sure. But who do I support more in this fight? Like over here, these two in boxing in general. Like who's my favorite fighters? Who are some of your favorite fighters? Let's hear it. Who are some of your favorite fighters? That's a good question to ask. Like who are some of y'all favorite fighters? Who do you guys like to see? Who do you guys like? That's a good one. But if you're talking about who I support here, Pacquiao for sure. Good. Yeah, man. If I were to fought Cruz, I would have a body. I'd be talking to y'all in the hospital bed right now through a tube. Through a tube. John Jones. John Jones is a GOAT, man. He's a GOAT. He's a GOAT. He's a GOAT. You know, what do you guys think about Fedora to Zoo? Anything on that fight? UFC Poirier versus Tank Davis in the future. I don't know, man. The crossover fights, they're right. It depends where it happens. You know, if you're going UFC, you take it to Poirier. If you go into boxing, take a Tank. The crossover fights they're hard. They're hard. It's not that they're hard to judge. But like, you know, if you take a UFC fighter, you put him in boxing, you eliminate 80%, 85% of their arsenal. They can't grapple, they can't kick, they can't elbow, they can't knee, they can't like wrestle. It's just straight hand to hand, standing up. You know what I'm saying? And if you put a boxer and you know they're taking more hits that they don't know how to react to. You get what I'm saying? Not saying they can't fight, but you box and it's different from taking a leg kick, shit like that. You know. I wonder if Pac and Barrios will rematch. This was a one and done fight. I promise you, there will not be a rematch. There will not be a rematch for sure. If Pacquiao fights again, that's contingent on who, of course. You have a better chance of seeing Pacquiao fight again, and there's no rematch for sure. I want a boxer to cross over. Which boxer would you want to cross over? Yes, but you have to hear me out. When you cross over, there's the science of each sport. You know what I'm saying? Tank has that, like, mastered. The IQ level of it, of boxing in the ring. You can have the power, for sure. You got to result on timing. You got to result on, you know, setting the shots up. Like, it's very different, for sure. Yo, you know what's crazy? I think, 2 seconds. I think I just got to, hold on. You know what's crazy? He was winning rounds, but I think Floyd walked to Conor more than he did any other opponent because he felt like Conor wasn't a threat. You get what I'm saying? And Conor won his fight standing up, had knockdown power, shit like that. You know what I mean? But I think Floyd walked to him more. Think about it. He didn't walk to Berto like that. He didn't walk to Pacquiao like that. He didn't walk to Guerrero like this. So like, I think he walked to him a little bit more because he knew. Yeah, agree, bro. Torpedo's better than McGregor. We all thought Conor wouldn't won a single round, and he did. Yeah, but again, you know, I really think, you know, Floyd was getting caught with some stupid shit. He was getting caught with some stupid shit. But I think Floyd knew, because again, there's a different level of skill set and IQ to hop in a boxing ring that you can't do. You can't do the same shit in UFC that you can do in the boxing ring. You get what I'm saying? I think Floyd was aware of his stamina, because Conor McGregor goes 5 rounds and stuff. Like, to make him walk 12 rounds, I think, you know, Floyd just knew he had it. And he wasn't scared. He walked to him for sure. Like, he walked to him more than he did the last, like, 10 of his fights. You know what I mean? He'd even walk to McDonough like that. Pacquiao was, like, the one who put the Philippines on the map. Yeah, he did, for sure. He did. Mayweather knew to wait to let him up. Yeah. McGregor's not a boxer. He's karate and before he's a boxer, dude. I believe he could beat Tank. Yeah, see, listen, man, that's good. That's a valid opinion, but like I said, man, the science is different. You know, Tank's very patient. Tank can take a punch. He for sure can. I just think it's very hard when you try to translate to a sport. When you try to cross over, um, each sport has a respective skill set and level. Like you need to have a really good knowledge of any sport you're trying to cross into. You know who mastered that really well? Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson. Them two mastered crossing over really good, really good. McGregor was, man, but not for Floyd. Not for Floyd. There's levels to it, but there is levels to it. Think about it. You got your S tier, you got your A tier, your B, your C, your D. There's levels to it, man. There's levels to it. Ngannou did the Tyson Fury. All right, see there you. I think Tyson Fury also underslept him. I think Tyson didn't train for that fight. He said he trained the hardest he's trained, or what did Tyson say? I don't think Tyson trained that hard at all. I don't think whatever he. I think he was looking for the payday because he was supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight Usyk, right? But then out of nowhere, a random October, it was like announced or some shit like that he's fighting Ngannou. Payday. I don't think Tyson Fury took that fight seriously at all. I don't think he took that fight seriously at all. And then he got clobbered. And then AJ, when he fought him, was kind of like, yeah, I can't let that shit happen to me. I had to like really lock in a little bit. Rest in peace for sure. Rest in peace to my man. Mayweather should have won every round if he's the greatest. I agree. That's true. That's a fact. But if you're putting on a fight, if you're putting on a show that they were putting on, the fight went the right way. It was an exciting fight. It was an exciting Mayweather fight for sure, compared to his last few that he had. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely a stellar fight. McGregor landed more shots than Pacquiao. McGregor landed 110 punches. Pacquiao, I believe, finished the fight with 89. Um, there was a lot more running in that fight. Mayweather didn't. Mayweather did. Did you actually watch the fight? Yeah, watched all the whole thing. The whole thing. The whole thing. We all knew Ngannou would win that fight. His shoulder was. Pacquiao's the greatest. Pacquiao is the greatest. Pacquiao is the GOAT. Once again, the monk. My glove, my love, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, man. The more likes, the more subscribes y'all do. Y'all watching it. It's called Prime Point Media. People recognize One Man Entertainment for a reason. It's just me, my camera. You know what I'm saying? The likes and subscribes to help me get into events like these. So this way I can interview these athletes and, you guys can tell me questions you want to know and I can ask the athletes firsthand for you. I don't look at my YouTube. The facts are in the pudding. My views aren't there for me to get paid. I barely have I do this off my own dime. So, I plan on doing a lot more of these live videos too. I hope to grow this channel so I can have more fun with it and, more fun and keep going to these events. But so yeah, the love is appreciated for sure, Monk. Thank you, bro. Thank you. For sure. Yeah, it's just all investment. What built this studio, I'll be transparent. What built this studio was COVID. You know what I'm saying? The stimulus checks. That's what built everything. The microphone, getting the camera. You know what I'm saying? The stimulus checks. Everyone was probably blowing it. Everyone was probably blowing it on something. I was like, I guess it's time to chase my dream. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but there's a lot of history there. I could talk about it on the podcast for sure. Let's definitely, you know what I'm saying? Monk, no problem, bro. What's the next big fights coming, dude? In boxing, for me, you wouldn't know my fighters, the more club show guys. The next big fights are obviously like Canelo and Crawford. That's the biggest one. Claressa Shields fights soon if you follow women's boxing. I do plan on getting into UFC more for sure. I do plan on getting into that. People do tell me that I should get into UFC more. I do watch some UFC fights, like some. I work 6 days a week though. I work 2 different jobs. I work 6 days a week, so not to make, but that's why it makes it hard for me to do this. So that's why I want to start live streams because sometimes if I can't get to these other states, if I can't get to Vegas, if I can't get to these fights, or if I get denied a media credential because you have to apply for them. Then I probably just do this so I can still stay active in the game. You know what I'm saying? We still get knowledge out there, fan interaction, people interaction. We talk boxing, talk shop, stuff like that. Boxing is boring and trash. It's such a limiting sport. You know, you can argue, I think boxing's definitely on the rise. I think they definitely made some exciting fights happen since Tank Garcia, Spence Crawford. If you want to talk about these last like 5 years, you know what I'm saying? Tank Garcia, Crawford, Spence, Usyk, Fury. Like, they're definitely making the fights happen. They're definitely making the fights happen. Some of the fighters may not fight to their best ability half the time. You know, Devin Haney's last fight, I don't know what the hell that was. If y'all watched Devin Haney in Times Square in New York, don't know what the hell that was. This dude ran the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's... think he just ran around the whole ring just jabbing. So it's like the fights are there, the fighters are there. You got like Jesse Rodriguez. I think the smaller weights really banging out more. I think they really dog it out. Like Jesse Rodriguez, Inouye, Fulton, Junto, like those guys. Even the lightweight division, they go crazy. Turkey Save Boxing. Yo, I just said it earlier on the live stream. I don't know if you was there. I don't know if you were there, but I think if there was no Turk in boxing, I don't think you get Canelo and Crawford as fast as you got it. Don't think you get it as fast as you got it at all. Because think about it, that fight happened quick. They start to and Crawford moved through divisions quick. Look how long it took for us to get some of the fights we really wanted to see. It took a long build-up. Crawford and Spence was made pretty... What did I say? Crawford and Spence? The hell? Canelo and Crawford was made pretty damn quick. I had to catch myself there. That fight was made too quick. You know what I'm saying? That fight was made quick. So shout out to Turk for real. If you have been in a boxing fight, you appreciate the talent of these guys. No, for sure, bro, for sure. And Monk, you know what's different too? When you live in the training camp with them, you see the sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? You see the sacrifices that they do, the weight cuts, the time away from family, stuff like that. You see you know what I'm saying, the sacrifice. You see the body shots. You know what I'm saying. Like our guy, he got a cut in his eye before he fought Charlo. In the thing, and you're trying not to let it leak out to the public. You're trying not to let those things like leak out at all. What's your opinion on Berlanga fans, Puerto Rican fans, New York fans complaining about Shiraz gloves without proof? Comparing, yeah, man, Shiraz is a different beast. If you saw one of my interviews earlier, I was already saying Shiraz was going to beat Berlanga. I thought it was going to be. I don't want to say easy, man. Don't want to say you. I always thought deep in my soul Shiraz was going to win that fight with no problem. I think Berlanga's his best fight right now is Caleb Plant. I think that's the smartest fight for them to do. I think when you lose, you're gonna find some things to point at, but Shiraz, man, he has no reason. He just look what he did at Ammo. Great fight against Carlos Adames, a tough fight. He's good. He's like that. Shiraz is like that. I saw that like outcome happening. Paul. I didn't see a knockout. The victory. I'm not gonna act like I know everything. I was gonna predict that. But Hamza, he's quick, man. He's nice. I don't think there's really a comparison to that, though. I don't think there is. Future UFC will be more famous than boxing. Here's my thing. Here's why UFC is so great right now compared to what boxing is. Boxing has a lot of sanctioning bodies. If you don't follow, here's why UFC is really better than boxing right now. To the people, there's a billion weight classes, so they feel like it's a lot. You got minimum, fly, super fly, you know what I'm saying, bantam, super bantam, lightweight, super light. You got all these weight classes. They just added the Bridger class. You have all these weight classes and all these sanctioning bodies. There's belts. People feel like they can't keep up. Once you explain it, it's kind of easy. It's like, oh, there's 4. You can unify. You're undisputed. But in UFC, it's just one man making the fights, one belt, and what? Just 6, 7, like just a handful of weight classes, the traditional ones. My opinion is once Dana White steps down one day, which will happen eventually in the future, and someone else buys in, they're gonna start putting their own tweaks on it. They're gonna start doing their own shit, and it's gonna eventually become a monopoly and be about money. And UFC won't be the same. And then 20 years from now, you might be saying, "Yo, the UFC ain't what it used to be, man. They used to, damn." Ain't what it used to be. They'll be saying the UFC used to make all these fights happen and yada, yada, yada. Now they don't fight no more. Like, I think it'll be the same way once more money gets flooded in it, stuff like that. Boxing has best era in the 80s and 90s. 80s and 90s. Real boxing, no. I don't know why boxing looked bored. And the MMA fights, boxing, the martial arts. Yeah, man, boxing. But I will say boxing's definitely on the rise. Boxing's definitely on the rise. Pacquiao's the winner, 100%. CT fighters fight, not wars. Yeah. My boxers. Pacquiao's the winner, 100%. Pacquiao's the winner. I can see UFC becoming boxing soon. Now champs are ducking. Yeah, man, as what I was just saying. There's going to become a point in time in the near future where you're going to look back and say boxing. Not boxing, UFC. Used to make all the fights happen. It ain't the same. It ain't what it was. I feel that's when you start really pouring money into the sports. I mean, look at boxing with all the sanctioning fees and all the stuff. Manny is the winner, 100%. Manny won the fight. He got robbed, 1,000,000,000%. It kind of sucks that it's on his record as a draw. Because think about it, people 40 years from now will look at the history of boxing and Manny Pacquiao and be like, oh, that fight, he drawed. Dog, he won. He won. Keep that forever out there. Real fighters respect all martial arts, every fighting style. Yeah, 100%. 100%. The dedication and stuff it takes to become any sort of fighter in any degree, whether you're a wrestler, MMA, boxing, jiu-jitsu, 100%. Just the dedication it takes, the craft it takes in general, the pain, the suffering, the losses you go through behind closed doors is crazy. It's crazy. Unless you really experience it firsthand, you don't understand. Do I think Pac-Man will? I think Pac-Man returns again. It's conditional. It has to be the right opponent. You got to think, man. Manny Pacquiao's been out the ring for so long. Manny came back for the genuine love of boxing. That's what I feel. That's a fact I feel. It's like, yo, he doesn't need the money. He's already in the Hall of Fame. He doesn't need to prove nothing. And he wasn't bad with his money, like the whole narrative of Floyd being broke. Manny came back for the love of boxing. And when you're sitting there looking at a guy like Barrios, who's a world champion, and you're like, I can beat him. I think Manny really came back on that itch of actually being a real fighter and warrior. And was like, yo, I can beat him. Watch. And then someone... I think it's contingent. To answer your question, I think Manny will fight again. If it's the right name... I don't know who it would be, though. It wouldn't be like a real... You know what I'm saying? I don't think... Because I just don't know who it would be, man. Barrios was the right guy because he's not dangerous enough. And he's beatable by Pacquiao. Pacquiao beat him. Like, it's a fact. Like, Pacquiao was definitely looking like, I know I can beat that guy. He's a world champion, but I know I can beat him and still compete at this level. I just don't know who would... You know what I'm saying? Who that next fight would be. I don't know. But I think you could see it. It's just contingent. It depends. Pac-Man, why don't Canelo fight Benavidez? Also, that draw was fair. You have to beat the champ. I think he did, man. I think here's the thing, Cedric, welcome back. Cedric, I think if you're the world champ, you need to demonstrate it. I don't think Barrios demonstrated it. For versing a guy, listen, world fame, Hall of Famer, all that shit. I think if you're the world champ, you need to display world championship boxing. Barrios did not display that. For getting outlanded like he was, he got outboxed in several rounds as the world champ for a guy who was on a 4-year layoff. You know, if you're the world champ, you have to also box like one. I don't think he boxed like one. I don't think he, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he really did. That's a lot of times why it goes to the decision. And if it goes to the decision, that's a game you play. That's a toss-up. It's like gambling. Sometimes it's like gambling. Look at the Brandon Figueroa, Joet Gonzalez fight. You can say Joet got robbed. Going to the decision's a dangerous game, man. Let me see. Let me catch up. Pacheco and Bali. Who you got after that last performance? Pacheco dominated Macumbi. Dominated. Macumbi couldn't even get inside. Pacheco looked too good. To the point where I want to say Pacheco. But that's a good fight. Can anyone tell me someone good in their prime who Mike Tyson would... Like any boxer? Any boxer against Mike Tyson? Can anyone tell me someone good in their prime who Mike Tyson beat? Oh, you're saying like who Mike Tyson beat in their prime. Is that what you're saying? Pacquiao should have won the fight. Jake Paul if he could. Manny Pacquiao, Jake Paul. The fight would make sense. Look at all the legends it had like that Paul's fought. Anderson Silva. You know what I'm saying? Adding Pacquiao to the list kind of wouldn't be no different. It would be a boxing match. It would be sanctioned. It's a beatable guy. The difference is the weight class, man. The weight. The weight is different. It had to be a catch weight. Tyson, Bruno. I'm watching until the end. Manny Pacquiao's definitely won the fight. Barrios, are you rewatching the fight right now? I think Barrios, I think he did hold back to a degree for sure. I think he did. But, you have Bob Santos telling him in the last 4 rounds of the fight, don't show him respect. He was saying don't show him any fucking respect to quote him, but, he was saying that for like 4 rounds straight, and Barrios was not listening. How does that make sense? Exactly, weight classes exist for a reason. Yeah, Pacquiao and Paul, man, like they're too far off in weight. Too far off. Pac asked Jake to fight. Do you think Carlos Adames is ruining his career? I don't think Carlos Adames is active enough. Don't think he's active enough. And that fight was a draw too against Shiraz. It was a good fight. It was a good test. I just don't think Adames is active enough. I really don't think anyone. I don't think any champion in the middleweight division is active enough. Adames, Lara, Janabek's the only one active enough, but he's not really going for the unification. And at this point, like he has IBO or IBF, WBO. The other two champs are just not active enough. No one in that middleweight division is really active enough, in my opinion. Yeah, Jake needs to stay there. That's why I don't really think the Anthony Joshua fight makes too much sense. You get what I'm saying? Fighting Anthony Joshua for what? Different weight classes again. And the skill set's crazy different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's causing way too much. I want to punch Joe. Almost had me say that. I ain't gonna say that out loud. I ain't gonna repeat that. I can't repeat that one. Cancel culture be on this quick. You know what I'm saying? To be quick. LD boxing, what up? LW boxing. I don't know why I had epilepsy read that. Yeah, no, Janabek's a force to be reckoned with in the middleweight division. He's active. He's going for the straps. He's going. Here's the thing with Janabek. He's patient and can stay and make that middleweight. You know what the difference is? Bouts, was starting to struggle to make welterweight. I wouldn't say struggle, but, it was going to become too much to keep making welterweight. And these fighters stalled him out, man. If y'all wanted to see a fight, it should have been Barrios and Ennis and Norman and Ennis. Norman and Barrios stalled him out. Robbed him of becoming an undisputed champion at welterweight, for sure. For sure. Bro, for sure. For sure, man. He really, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have world leaders in the champ. Hey, man, you communicate with world leaders. We all We put each other in the same room with people, man. We in a room with some powerful people now. We all here together. Adames outpriced himself versus Shiraz rematch. He did for sure. I don't think. I think he did for sure. I don't think no one can beat Usyk. I don't think no one beats Usyk in the heavyweight. I don't. I don't think no one beats Usyk in the heavyweight division for sure. Bro, the proof's in the pudding. Look what he did to Tyson, AJ. Look what he just did to Dubai. Like, I don't think there's no one there. I think Usyk's the one who went to the boss level and just shut it down. You know what I'm saying? Went from cruiserweight to heavyweight. The most known division on God's green earth, the heavyweight division. The division that started everything off. So it's he's masterclassing everybody. And he'll give the lick back. He's like, I beat you. Oh, you don't think I did? All right, let's do it again. Psych, stupid, beat you again. And he did it over and over again with people. Let's get to 100 likes for sure. Yo, Monk, that's love, bro. For sure, absolutely. You about to be the one that started too, Monk. You starting the movement right now in here. Conor Ben should push for Barrios. He can actually be easy. Yo, for sure. Listen, with Barrios not fighting Boots, I don't think he'll fight a fight he won't lose. Barrios set a record. Can anyone tell me the record he set? I was told this by my fighter too. So can anyone tell me the record Barrios set in this fight? Let me know. Let's see if you can comment. Or if you were in the first live stream, if you remember. Do y'all know the record that Barrios set in this fight? I think Beterbiev can beat Usyk if he moved. That's heavy, man. You going up that much weight again, and then having to try and learn to fight with that weight versus someone who's there you go. Yeah, y'all got it. Y'all got it. 2 draws back to back. Yeah, 2 world title draws back to back. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that telling you something? Ain't that telling you something? That's crazy, right? You world champion. You draw back to back. Just should have fought Boots and probably got paid more in this fight for real. I just think he should have fought Jaron Ennis. I think Jaron Ennis is on his way to be one of the best boxers. I think everyone's ducking him. Fact. Jaron Ennis. What? Give it. At this point, give it 2 to 3 years. He's on everyone pound for pounds. Jaron Ennis is on everyone pound for pounds list. Fact. Give it 2 to 3 years. Boots is on everyone, because you want to know why? He should have been undisputed here, and he's not in this. What's happening right now is going to get overlooked for a few more years. He's up in 154. He's going to become a 2-division world champion, like a 2-division world champ. He's going to beat Virgil Ortiz. His name's going to skyrocket even more, and then people are going to really start looking like, oh, damn. And then as he progresses further in his career, like Crawford, then people will be like, yo, he also should have been undisputed at 147. Like, he should have been. Instead, Barrios fought Pacquiao, Norman fought Haney. 2 guys that haven't even been in the picture at all. You know what I'm saying? I subbed to your channel. Thank you, my guy. Appreciate that. On the road to 3K. I never thought I'd break 1K for real. I'm being honest. I never thought I'd break 1,000 subs. Kind of need some water. Talking a lot. Excuse me, my bad. Excuse me. Roll down. If Conor Ben wants to be remembered or have legacy, he should chase titles, not Banks or Kerr. That's a good one. That's a good take. Those guys would bring money. Beating Eubank can help establish legacy, because then it would lead to a trilogy fight. If he beats him twice, it can really establish something, especially in his family, because that history, you know what I mean? The father's fighting and stuff like that. But, as far as the belts, but I don't think he's on some fighters. I think he falls in that category where some fighters don't care about the belts. They won't care about the belts. They won't care to win any belts or nothing like that. You know what I mean? They care about the money, making big fights, and they can fight, but they don't care about the belts. think Ryan Garcia was one of them, right? Wasn't Ryan Garcia one of them guys who was like, I think I did it again. Yeah, I think Ryan Garcia was one of them guys who also said it and stuff like that. I want to see Eubank and Shiraz. Ooh, that might be a clip. Damn, Shiraz and Eubank, because they styles are, they fight the way two like flyweights fight. Just at it. They fight like that at a heavier weight though, like the heavier weight class. You know what I'm saying? Like super middleweight, super middleweight. That'd probably be a middleweight bout. That'd be crazy. They would be clashing. They would be clashing. But Shiraz is gonna go for Canelo. They're going for Canelo post Crawford Canelo. Shiraz is going for Canelo. He ain't gonna fight nobody else. He's gonna definitely yeah, he's gonna definitely go for Canelo. Yeah, man. Play boxing games or whatever you talk about. I should do something like that. I will. I'll find a way to do that. That's a good idea. I appreciate it. This is only my second live stream. And like I said, it's because I couldn't make it out to any of the fights. My media credentials did not get approved. I did not get in. So I gotta keep getting my content up, my views up. So this way they deem me as a credible source that they want there. But I think it's a good idea. That's why I keep talking. I don't shut the hell up. I'm trying to keep it entertaining. Or you know what I'm saying? But Shiraz is saying he wants a fight in between. I think that activity is good. That activity is good, especially if you want to fight someone like Canelo. So he would need that. If Crawford beats Canelo, it ruined for them. 100%. I think Crawford beats Canelo. I think Crawford outboxes Canelo. I think so. That's my hot take. That's it. That's the one. He's going to touch that body. I think going from orthodox to southpaw, I think he's going to still move. I think he's going to be a fighter that's going to be able to hit and move, hit and run. You know what I'm saying? Hit and run. But Prime, in what weight class? Prime Canelo beats and Crawford. What weight class? What weight class do you think that he beats Crawford in? Yeah, let's get to 30, baby. Monk, I love the energy, Monk. I love the energy. Nelo fanboy. Oh, Canelo. Damn, I'm an idiot. I'm like reading that like Canelo. God, I'm stupid. I was like, who? I almost wanted to say Neo. I was like, Neo? You mean Neo? The singer? Yeah, man, we got into the Canelo Charlo press conference. I just couldn't make it. I was working my second job that day. I had to open the business too, so I couldn't not do that. You know what I'm saying? We could have been there for Canelo. That's one interview I really want to get. We interviewed some of the biggest names in boxing, but I didn't get Canelo yet. Yeah, man. I hope. It's good to help each other. Yo, Monk, if I could retweet that. Wait, I could pin a comment. Yo, I forgot about pinning, man. Damn, I could have pinned like 1,000 of Monk's. Monk could have been getting more love in this chat, for real. I forgot about pinning, but no, that's a fact right there. How do you think Crawford beats him? I think Canelo is a dominant, aggressive fighter. Like, he'll walk to you. He'll pressure you. Canelo pressures you and throws bombs. And he's smart, IQ, all that. I think he's too, like, rock solid. You feel me? I think Crawford's going to be a little more elusive and quick. William Skull ran. I think Crawford's going to be able to find openings, hit the body, pop, 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 and move a little much. You know what I'm saying? I think that will frustrate Canelo. You get what I'm saying? I think it would frustrate Canelo, and that's a fact. Crawford is hungry. A hungry fighter is a dangerous fighter, especially someone like Crawford. You get what I'm saying? Like, he has a lot more to win. beat Canelo. I think, and yes, I did say this earlier before you joined. I do think Crawford retires if he wins. I don't think there's no one else there for the fight. I wish he would have fought Ennis. I wish he would have fought Ennis at 147. Would have been a good fight. I do think Crawford retires if he beats Canelo. That new Ring Magazine belt, he's going to win. He'll undispute 3 weight classes, 5 division world champion. He'll shatter records. I think Crawford retires because at that point, what weight is he going to go to fight somebody for a retirement? Keith Thurman was there, but Keith Thurman was at these PBC fights, and he was probably calling out other people. I don't think Thurman and Crawford's a big enough fight to make happen. Crawford versus Bivol, ooh, that's a good John. That's dangerous. See, I think that's where Crawford draws the line at super middleweight. I don't think Crawford goes to light heavyweight. I don't think that happens. Too heavy, too big. And look what Bivol did to Canelo. So he beat Canelo. So it's like, all right, and he beat Better Biedev. And he walked in 24 rounds with a guy who only won by knockout. You get what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I don't think he touches them waters. I don't think he goes for Bivol. Claressa Shields beats Crawford. That's funny. That's funny one. Yo, it's crazy. Claressa Shields weighs less than I do. That's kind of like wild. But she's bigger than me. It's crazy. Some OD podcast not speaking the messed up part about boxing. I mean, yeah, you're kind of joining. We're 72 minutes into this live stream. We did talk about ducks. A lot of them were drawn Ennis. We talked about Barrios ducking and then picking a fight with Pacquiao. We did talk about Norman ducking and then taking a fight and stuff like that. We did talk about a little bit ducking, but like I said, we've been out here for 72 minutes. I actually have work early in the morning. I might have to cut it soon. Crawford versus Thurman don't make money. I don't think it does. Who's your GOAT? Who's my GOAT? That's a good question. That's a good question, man. Who's my GOAT? I would want to pick someone retired who I've watched fight, which would lead me to say Pacquiao. You have a lot of good fighters still fighting. Fuck me, man. That's hard. Who's my GOAT? Because I would want to say someone who kind of like hung it up. But like if I say Tyson or Ali, it's almost like cliche. But I also didn't get to watch them fight. You know the history. But like you're asking my GOAT. So like the way I look at it is like when you ask someone their GOAT, it's like who did you watch? Like who's your GOAT that you watch? You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm overcomplicating that question. I will put like Pacquiao there. I'd put Pacquiao in there. Canelo, even though he's still fighting because of that resume. Yeah. She was world champion. Crawford and Errol Spence avoided Thurman. Crawford and Spence, they avoided bouts. I don't think they avoided Thurman. You gotta think. A lot of times in boxing, certain fights won't happen because the guy is I don't think they avoided Thurman. They avoided bouts for sure. They definitely avoided Jerron Ennis. Hagler's your GOAT. Yeah, if we're going all time, man, I'm putting Tyson there. I'm putting Tyson and Ali. For sure. But remember, again, I answered the question basing off of who I watched fight. Just who I watched fight. Like, I've seen several Pacquiao fights. I've seen several Canelo fights. They're some of the best. And Crawford, once he hangs him up, he's gonna be in that conversation for sure. And I think GOAT's generational too, because you have different eras. You know what I mean? Like, you can't compare someone's GOAT now. And then not only the errors, the regulations and the rules change so much. You know, back then the glove ounces are a lot less, the protection, the padding's a lot less. There's a lot more rounds, a lot more time, a lot less restrictions. Like it's like, you know what I mean? People now are like naturally like bigger. My goal would be Canelo Alvarez after he retired. I feel like he's gonna be the Mexican GOAT. Oh yeah, for sure. I think I think he is. That resume is great, man. That's a great resume. Do you think Usyk is top 3 heavyweights? Yes. Yes, I think Usyk has entered that category. I think he has, man. I think he has top 3 for sure. Mike Tyson, Ali, you know, because Usyk doesn't shy away from nobody. Usyk fought these guys in their prime. He's rematched people in their prime. So it wasn't like a one-off either. It wasn't like he fought, you could argue it was close. Because if you try to argue it was close, Usyk gave the run back. Usyk gave the run back and it still won. And he did that to multiple people. There's no one else for him to go. He could just clear the division. Pacquiao was different. 100%, bro. Pacquiao was different. 8 division world champion. Bro, he's the GOAT. Pacquiao. That's why I listened to him. And it looked better. 100%. Do you think Prime Usyk beats Prime George Foreman? I didn't watch. I guess I gotta go look up George Foreman highlights. Those type of questions are hard. Those type of I would want to say yeah to that question, because Usyk sometimes I feel like there's some of those punches that Dubois got hit with. It looks like it didn't hurt, but obviously it did. But it's like, yo, he put you down. Yeah, bro, Pac-Man is the GOAT, bro. He's a GOAT. I love him. And when I met the one time I met him, nice dude, very nice, down to earth person, GOAT. GOAT for sure. Foreman documentary is amazing, bro. That documentary was something else. That documentary was solid, man. That was definitely a good ass documentary for sure. Canelo would definitely be. Canelo would not be the Mexican GOAT. It would be Julio Chavez Sr. They both got impressive resumes. I did watch the George Foreman Netflix documentary, that movie. I did watch it. Is the next American superstar in boxing. Who do I think the next superstar in boxing is? Currently pro right now. Superstar. You gotta know there's a difference. There's a difference. Like Mike Tyson is an icon, but Tank Davis is a superstar. You know what I mean? You could put Tank in, but the next superstar, I want to say Zaquan Moses, but I don't think so. If I want to be biased, I would say Nahir Albright. You know, if people stop ducking him, he could prove more. Next superstar in boxing, so. I want to say Boots too, but he's kind of like at that level. You know what I mean? He's kind of like at that level. Amari Jones. Oh, you mean prospect? Prospect Zaquan Moses. I'm gonna lean on Zaquan Moses for sure. I'm trying to think, man. Other prospects. I feel like you ever get that feeling when you get asked a question, you get put on the spot, and it's like a lot of what you can normally say in a normal situation with not a lot of people watching, whatever, it'll come to you quicker. I feel like it all just dwindles sometimes. Cruz beat Tank that fight they had. Oh, you're talking about Isaac Cruz and Tank. Good fight. You know, that injury, Tank's again injury, fought pretty well with that injury. That's a fight they should run back to. That's a good fight to run back, but I think it'll run back because Cruz is winning straps and just running through people. I think eventually that fight could be ran back, for sure. I think it could be run back for sure. With that being said, guys, I think we're approaching 80 minutes. I do have work at 6 a.m., so I have work in about 5 hours. No, I can't do math. We're definitely going to hop off. This was my second live stream of the day. I definitely plan to do more of these. I'll go live tomorrow for sure. I definitely like interacting with the community. Please like, subscribe for sure. Follow the journey. People recognize One Man Entertainment. You know what I mean? It'll help get me into more events, get you guys access to some of these fighters. I'm very open, so like if people hit me, yo, bro, yo, can you ask someone this question? If I'm going to a certain press conference, I'll write it down and get your question asked. You know what I'm saying? And you can hear your question answered by your favorite athlete. I do appreciate y'all rocking with me for 80 minutes. That's crazy work. I'll go live tomorrow for sure after work. I'll go out live for sure after work. Monk, much love, my guy. Much love for sure. Be sure to follow us on Instagram too. Stay tapped in. Prime Point Media, PR1ME, Point Media. People recognize One Man Entertainment. Much love to everyone. Thank you, Monk. Appreciate you, my guy. All of you guys have a good night. Stay strong, and Monk, real love. Thank you. Have a good night.